Hello there, my name is Denise. Today, we will be discussing the urgency of saving endangered animals, specifically the gray bat. Now, let's take a look into their world. When thinking about bats, people tend to think of them as scary, blood-sucking creatures, but in fact, all they ever do is stay in caves most of the time, especially the gray bat. The gray bat is the largest member of its genus in the eastern United States. Its forearms measure 40 to 46 millimeters, and it weighs at a range between 7 to 16 grams. It is easily distinguished among other bats by its monocolor fur, which is just gray. After molting in July or August, their fur is mostly dark gray. However, their fur can be bleached to a chestnut brown during molts. This is especially common in reproductive females during May and June. What is really interesting about them is that their wing membrane actually connects to the foot at the ankle instead of at the toe like most of the other myotis. 95% of the gray bats spend most of their time every year roosting, rearing young, hibernating, and breeding in 8 or 9 specific caves around the eastern United States, which includes Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama. They migrate to their winter and summer caves, and they do have temporary caves as they stop during their flights to rest. The two types of caves used by gray bats are winter caves and summer caves. Winter caves are deep, vertical, and provide a large volume of air below the lowest entrance that acts as a cold air trap. These caves are between 6 and 11 degrees Celsius. Usually by November, the adult male bats hibernate as the adult female bats rest in the summer caves as they have to store sperm over the winter and become pregnant the following spring. The summer caves are usually within 1 kilometer of a river or a reservoir, where they go and forage for aquatic insects, especially mayflies. Keeping insect populations down would be their niche, or ecological role. For the adult female gray bats that are pregnant, they stay in these summer caves because these caves trap warm air for keeping the body heat of the maternity colonies among them. The maternity colonies consist of pregnant female bats. Temperatures in these caves range from 14 to 20 degrees Celsius. The adult male bats and the non-reproductive female bats form their own colonies in a cave in a forested area a few kilometers away from the summer caves where the maternity colonies rest. After the adult female bats come out of the caves in late March, then the juvenile and adult male bats follow. One single pup is born in late May or early June. After 20 to 25 days of birth, they start to fly. Between July and August, the mothers and their young rejoin the bachelor colonies. Between September and October the following year, mating occurs as the bats return to the winter caves where they had hibernated the year before. These bats have a great loyalty to their roosting and hibernating sites, and they will return to the same locations from year to year. When it comes to special adaptations, the gray bat can definitely use it. They use echolocation to move around and find prey. They emit sound waves which bounce off of objects, and the bats receive the sound waves and then know where a prey is located. They also have special heat sensors in their noses to help them smell prey. Gray bats are endangered species according to the United States Fish and Wildlife Service. Not only are their habitats limited to specific 8 or 9 caves, and that makes them vulnerable, females only have 1 pup. You can see their low reproductive rates, case strategists, as their population in 2003 was 10,000 or 20,000 bats. Of course, human disturbances around the caves play a major role in their depletion, such as deforestation, because the trees provide them with protection from any outsiders. In addition, the use of forestry insecticides and crop pesticides in areas where many of the insects that the bats eat live in. Therefore, bats can be killed by eating poison insects. One known illness is the white nose syndrome, which is a fungus found on the faces or wings of those infected. Over 5.7 million bats have been killed by this infection. Some might say that bats are scary, but without them, we would get rid of their free services. That is why these organisms have been placed under national protection by BatCon, an organization whose mission is to conserve bat populations and prevent extinction by halting the spread of the white nose syndrome and to mitigate its impact. If you want to help, start by using paper made of recycled materials, and you can adopt a bat to